What's up, guys, and welcome to a new video. I know you guys have heard me mention this many times, but the KLX300SM is going up for sale. I'll be listening to it here soon. And the thing is like, so I bought this bike. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I'm selling the bike. I love the bike. It's a lot of fun. The thing is like, I have a GSXR 750. My wife has a GSXR 750, right? We both used to have Z125s, and we ride, you know, the same pace, everything. Well, about a little over a year ago, I got a promotion that put me about 30 miles away from home. You know, obviously I took the promotion, but I wanted something I could commute on and get good gas mileage. So I ended up buying this, the KLX300 Supermoto. This is a 2022, if any of you are interested out there. And I bought it because I wanted something to commute on. You know, I was riding 60 miles a day, and I didn't want to put all the miles on my brand new truck, so I wanted to buy something a little bit bigger than like a Z125 or a Grom to put all the miles on that. Okay, so fast forward eight or 9 months later, I was able to take a position, same exact position I was in before. I was able to take the position that I got the promotion for at a closer location to my home, which was only 8 miles away from my home, which was like phenomenal. I was like, oh my god, this is like perfect. This is like everything I wanted, but now even closer to home. So I took that, obviously I transferred up closer to home, and I honestly, the thing is like, now that I'm so close to home, I don't really have much use for this bike to commute on, because I don't really mind putting, you know, 15 miles a day on my truck. It's not really a big deal. I have taken this bike to work a few times, but honestly it's almost more work than it's really worth at that point, because it takes me like 10 to 15 minutes to get to work. So the thing is now that I've done that, you know, I've been in this new position for 4 to 5 months now, and I have been riding this bike. From time to time I'll ride it. Most of the time I'm riding it by myself, which, to be completely honest, like, riding by yourself, it's kind of fun, because you know, you can do whatever you want, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, it just gets boring a lot faster. For me, I enjoy riding with my wife or my dad or some friends, you know, and typically we'll be on the same style bike, and there's really nobody that I know that has a supermoto or anything that's like similar to this. You know, my wife has the Z125, but that thing tops out at like 60 miles an hour, and that's with her on it. With me, it tops out at like 55 miles an hour, which isn't you know, the end of the world, but it's not like I can take like a trip like today. I took a trip, you know, 40 something miles south of the house, and you know, it's not a big deal to do it on this bike. I can get on the highway, I can get home quick if I need to. But the thing is so like, I'm wanting to either sell the bike, or I'm going to possibly trade the bike with either cash on my end or cash on the buyer's end. So there's a lot of different bikes that I'm looking at. I do like having a second bike. I've had you know, I've had a lot of bikes in my life, and the GSXR 750 is like the only bike that I've ever really stuck with, and I've had that bike for over 5 years now. And honestly, like, that bike is one of the bikes, like, if I were to sell it, I would just buy another bike, like the exact same bike. Most likely, you know, I would buy some type of super sport, 600 or 1000, you know. The 750 is just like the sweet spot for me. Like, it's just a lot of fun. It's a good bike. It's a good balance of power, weight, size, everything. So the KLX300 Supermoto, it's got like 2,000 miles on it. I haven't put a ton of miles on it. I put a lot of mods on it. Nothing super expensive, you know. These bikes are going for like $7,500 out the door right now. The market is definitely high, but they MSRP is $6,000, so it's not like it's anything absurd. So these bikes, like I said, around our area, they're going for like $7,300, $7,500 out the door. And I'm obviously not trying to get that much money for it, obviously. I'll probably post it around $6 grand or so and see what happens. I feel like that's a fair price, you know, considering it's got some mods on it. It's got low miles. I've taken good care of it. It's never been wrecked or anything like that. So yeah, so like I said, it's one of those things that like I'm open to trades. There's bikes that I've been looking at are like the Yamaha R7. I've looked at like the Z125 again. You know, I had a lot of fun on that bike. It was a lot of fun, especially when my wife has the same bike. A Honda Grom, I'm not opposed to getting a Grom. Groms are cool too. The FZ07, I like the new FZ07. I like the new MT09. There's a lot of bikes out there that are like piquing my interest. I wish Suzuki would come up with a DRZ 400 that was fuel injected, because that's really the only thing that kind of persuade me to get this bike, because it is fuel injected, and I feel like it's definitely ahead of the DRZ, you know, not in power, but you know, in just electronics and things. But at the same time, there are some things on this bike that like I wish it had a better fuel gauge, things like that. It does have a gear indicator, so whoever gets this bike, you know, assuming that I actually do sell it, I'm gonna put it up for sale, okay? If the right deal comes along, it'll be gone. It could be gone before that I even post this video, for all I know. I'll be posting it here in the next couple days, but this video won't go up for, you know, a couple weeks, because I have other videos in line. So yeah, that's just one of those things that like I love my GSX-R. I won't be selling that. I won't be getting rid of that, you know, anytime in the near future. So as a second bike, I like to have something different, something, you know. That's why when I was looking at the Yamaha R7, it's so close. It's so closely related to my GSX-R 750. You know, obviously not as much power, different style. You know, it's basically a super sport, but it's not like an inline 4 or anything like that. Not super fast or anything like that. Not as fast as the R6. But just, you know, I've even thought about getting like a Ninja 400 for like the track. Track days would be a lot cheaper on a Ninja 400 as opposed to my 750. I go through like a set of tires in a day and a half on my 750. You know, on a Ninja 400, I can probably make some Q3s last, you know, 3 weekends at the track, for all I know. Definitely more so than my 750 will last. Like, my 750 just eats up tires, especially at Jennings. And yeah, so it's just like, it's one of those things that like I have a feeling that once I do get rid of it, I'm probably gonna miss it. And, you know, I might have some buyer or some seller's remorse, I guess you could say. Is that a thing? It's like every time I sell something, it's like I somewhat miss it, but at the same time, like, I'm not emotionally attached to this bike whatsoever. Like, if somebody were to offer me $6 grand today, I would sell it. Like, I'm just not attached to it. I'm just looking for something new, something different, and I'm not exactly sure what I want right now. I may just, you know, I might have people offer me exactly what I'm looking for as a second bike and decide that that's not what I want. And if somebody were to offer me a really clean FZ07 or something like that, you know, maybe clean Grom, clean Z125, probably. You know, I'm just looking for something different, and that's the beauty of having a second bike. Like, I don't have to get rid of my GSX-R, which I absolutely love. I can kind of play around with my second bike, and I can go without a bike for, you know, a couple weeks, because I still have my 750. So it's a good position to be in, you know. There's just like, I have a lot of other hobbies that are outside of bikes, and I feel like I walk by this bike so many times, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, man, if that was a different bike, I would probably be riding it right now, because it would be something fresh, something new, something different. But, you know, I've had this bike for a little over a year now, and here's a tunnel, so you guys can really kind of hear. She sounds amazing. And that's one of the things I'm going to miss about this bike, because it really is, like, really is a fun bike. Well, yes, I know. I'm gonna probably have some people out there be like, dude, I watched your channel because you bought the KLX300 Supermoto. And like, honestly, like, this bike was super exciting when it first came out. and I had a lot of fun on it, but it's never like been a bike that I've really fallen in love with and been like, you know, I can't live without this bike kind of deal. And I think there's a lot of people out there that can probably understand that. If you found your dream bike, I guess you could say, quote unquote, you probably understand the feeling of having a bike that you just can't sell. And then you'll see other people who are constantly buying and selling bikes, and they're just really not attached to anything. That's kind of how I am with this bike. And I've thought about selling it so many times. I've never really been super serious about it until now. You know, and like I said, it's nothing against the bike. I think if I lived in a different situation, or if I was just in a different situation altogether, I would probably just keep the bike, you know. But, you know, I take it to Bush now. I can, you know, I can take it to the mini bike track days. But it's just a little bit overkill, to be honest. Like the Z125s and the Groms are just, they're just honestly perfect for that. And this bike's just, you know, it's just not cutting it right now. I hate to say that, but it's kind of true. It's just, I guess I'm kind of just over it, to be honest. And I hate saying that because it is a fun bike. Like every time I hop on it, I have fun. Just looking for something new. You know how it is. Hopefully. If not, sorry, you don't understand. Alright guys, that is why I'm selling the KLX300 Supermoto. Hopefully you understand. If not, oh well. Alright guys, peace, ride safe, and stick around. Maybe I won't even sell it, but I probably will. Alright guys, peace.